So, a friend of yours recently sold their motorcycle for a ton of money, and now you want to get on the action of buying and selling motorcycles. Great. Let's walk you through it. Now, before you hop on Facebook Marketplace and throw your money away, there's a few caveats you need to know before you start throwing your money at projects. One of the biggest things is intrinsic value. Is the bike you're thinking about buying and flipping a popular bike? When I say intrinsic value, I'm talking, does it have a cult following? Are there people always looking to buy this bike because of its particular characteristics, quirks, historical, or sentimental value? This is important because these are the people we're going to target and try and sell to. A great example of this is the Kawasaki KLR 650. Is it fast, pretty, or new? No. The reason the KLR is so popular is they are the AK-47s of the motorcycle world, meaning they're cheap, reliable, and available everywhere. Problem is you buy this bike used for $4,000 and then sell it 2 years later for $4,000. You're never going to have a problem selling this bike, but you're never going to make any money.
We want more money.
If you're a Harley guy, you can never go wrong with an FXR, especially the FXRT, the touring model. Those things are way popular right now. If you're a cruiser guy, a Honda Shadow 750 is a really popular bike. Everyone's going to want to start or grow into one of those. Another one for a sport bike market is the Kawasaki Ninja, whether it's a 250cc or the 1000cc. Super reliable, cheap to maintain, they're great bikes, they're always going to sell. Point being, whatever bike you fancy the most is probably the one you're going to know the most knowledge on, so just stick with that. So now that we have an idea what bike you're after, your next question might be, where do I even look for this? Back in the day, I used to use Craigslist all the time, and it was great, but it's a little dated now, and everyone's moved to Facebook Marketplace. You can use eBay, but we're looking for a deal, and usually items on eBay sell for a premium, so it's best to avoid when possible. For the sake of the video, I'm going to use this example here. It's a wrecked 2005 DRZ 400 SM. Most people wouldn't even give this bike the time of day. We know that DRZs have been on the market for 20 years, essentially unchanged. I found this thing on Facebook Marketplace, and the first thing that caught my attention was the price. So before I even messaged the seller, I went ahead and did a VIN check on the bike. I went to checkthatvin.com, ran a VIN, made sure the bike wasn't stolen. This costs $3.50 and you get an instant report. There's no waiting required. Usually you can find the VIN on the listing, but sometimes you'll have to ask the seller for it. If they don't give you the VIN, don't buy the bike. Here you can see we're going through and we find out this bike has a salvage title. It was sold through a Copart auction out in California, and it pretty much lines up with the seller's description of the bike. So we're good to go. And here's our conversation. Notice I didn't waste any time and I got right into it. I hit him with a lowball offer just to see how hard he was on his price. Notice I did not ask if the item is still available. That is an auto response that a lot of people use and they get ignored. With this, I just try to be polite. Hi Anthony, would you take $300? He's asking $5. It's a wrecked bike with no title. $300 is a fair price. Anthony fires back at $400, which is right where I wanted it to be, and we are on. And that's negotiating. It's done in 2 sentences. There's no drama, nothing like you see on TV, so don't be intimidated by asking someone to take less than their asking price. So now you have your first project. What do you do? So now that you have the bike and all this information, you have a decision to make. Repair the bike to a rideable condition, or do I sell it as is for parts? I decided to part it out. A quick search on eBay will tell you what the price of the items on the bike are. For example, this wheel is around $500. The forks are a couple $100, even though they're bent. The engine's $1,500. The seats worth $50 to $70. There's a lot of pieces here that add up very quickly. So with a little bit of elbow grease, I went from this to this just by cleaning up, wiping everything down, and bolting the bike back together. Now these are the photos I used in the ad, and here's the ad that I made. Remember how I said everything on eBay sells for a premium? This is where we're going to sell it. I listed this thing as parts only, gave a full description, gave detailed photos of the wreck, gave a picture of the VIN number, listed everything in full detail, had 8 bids, ended up getting my asking price of $800, and there you go. Bought the bike for $400, sold it for $800, didn't do anything to it. All I did was do a title check on this to make sure it wasn't stolen, and then sold it for parts. And that's how you do it. That's a great little side hustle if you want to make a little side money, buy and flip motorcycles for parts. If you want to learn how I get titles for motorcycles without titles, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching!